Hello everybody, welcome to Voyage. Today we're going to be focusing on a monochromatic makeup look. So for those of you that are wondering, what is monochromatic makeup application? Today I'm going to show you. Let's get started. Let's get into what a monochromatic color scheme actually is. So I'm a professional makeup artist of 25 years and I also attended art school. So I have a pretty good handle on how color works, not only on canvas, but also on a face. I'm going to go ahead though and read to you guys from Interior Design magazine so that way you guys really understand the definition of what monochromatic is so that we're on the same page. It states that a monochromatic color scheme is a one color scheme that is created using different tones in that one color. Once you've chosen your base color, you can use a color wheel to help you choose different hues of that same color, varying the saturation and tone of the base color to pick out lighter and darker hues, which you can see in the examples that I have here on the side. Think of it visually as creating a harmonious, cohesive look when it comes to creating a makeup look. And for those of you who are Y people, such as myself, who are curious, where does the word monochromatic come from and what does it mean? It comes from a Greek word, which is monos, chromos, monos meaning one, and chromos meaning color. So now that you have an understanding of what a monochromatic color scheme is, let me go ahead and show you guys the palette I'm going to be using today. I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and I'm going to focus in on the greens today. A lot of you have been asking about how to use green shadows and just been curious about greens in general. And I believe that's because they have been popping up here and there in eyeshadow palettes I've noticed. Now, green is the perfect color to me for this upcoming year. Green represents renewal, rebirth, peace, security, everything that I'm hoping 2022 brings us. And green is just so refreshing and uplifting. It's associated with spring and new beginnings, so it feels fitting to focus on a green monochromatic eyeshadow look today. First though, let's go ahead and start with the complexion. I have nothing on right now whatsoever. I have just my brows on and my lashes, but no complexion products. So let's get started there, shall we? Now the look I'm going to do today for my complexion is a Demi Matte, which is one of my favorite looks. I'm combination dry, so I need a little dewiness. So for those of you that are wondering, what's a Demi Matte? What's the difference between matte and Demi Matte? Matte foundations or matte products don't usually contain oil, and they leave a very sophisticated and polished finish on the skin. Now Demi Matte has the same long wearing power as matte makeup, but there's a bit of luminosity and glow, so it's not as dry looking. Let's say for somebody who's combination dry, you still get that sophisticated velvet texture, but with some luminosity. So if you're oily skin, matte, true matte makeup is gorgeous. And if you're combination dry, you can do matte makeup as well, but you need to make sure that you're very hydrated. Even exfoliate your skin because you want to get all of that dead skin off so that you have a perfect canvas to work on and that it doesn't pick up on any texture. Now, if you don't want to do all that work, I definitely recommend Demi Matte, which I'm going to show you guys today how to apply a Demi Matte complexion. So to create a Demi Matte look today, I'm going to use these three products. I have a Westman Atelier highlighter stick. I have the Chanel Rosy Light Drops Illuminator or highlighter, and I have my favorite foundation, which is the Air Flash by Dior. Best makeup for weddings and photographs, editorial, etc. So let's go ahead and start with the Westman Atelier Lit Up Stick. I absolutely love these balmy textures. Chanel has one as well. It's their Balm Essential Sticks. I like both equally. I lean towards this one a little bit more if I want more luminosity because it does have a purple, blue, pink shift to create a more brightening effect across the skin. But I'm going to go ahead and start now and just put a couple of stripes here to create a dewy base. Now, for those of you that are wondering, what's the texture like on these? Do they melt into the skin when it comes to the Essential Balm Sticks by Chanel or the Westman Atelier Lit Up Stick? They are meant to be hydrating and luminous, so they're not one of those products that's supposed to soak into the skin. You can use less product if you feel like it's too rich or too heavy, but it's actually meant to give you a glass-like skin look. It's meant to stay nice and dewy. Okay, so this is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the LeBlanc Rosy Light Drops. This is such a beautiful product. I absolutely love these highlighters by Chanel. They came out with one for this Christmas. I think they have like 4 or 5 now, and I recommend all of them. This is one of those products that I keep on hand for not just myself, but definitely for my clients. The light reflective pigments are what I like to call a grown-up highlighter because they're not super glittery or over the top. They just create a beautiful sheen across the skin. And I love putting these underneath the eyes because it brightens up those dark circles that happen to all of us from just having veins underneath our eyes. All right, I'm going to show you guys how this looks melted into the skin. And here's the difference. Here's my hand that doesn't have anything on it. And here's the hand that has the Chanel Rosy Light Drops. Such a good product. I use it a lot on my chest with clients as well. And I will have clients take a couple drops and put it in their body lotion and put it all over on their wedding day just to create a nice, luminosity across the skin. All right, let's go ahead and put this beautiful foundation on now. So what you're gonna do is shake up the bottle and you just spray the brush. Now this is my absolute favorite brush for applying this foundation. It's the Marc Jacobs, the Phase 2 brush. Best brush, like my top 5 favorite brush. It's just the angle of this and the way it's cut. It's dense, but it just really does a great job of blending at the same time, as well as obviously applying it onto the face. I highly recommend getting this brush for those of you who are looking for a great foundation brush. All right, I'm just tapping this on, and you will see right away how it just looks like I took Photoshop to my face and just got airbrushed, basically. It's just so pretty. And the reason why is because of this spray, you don't get, really thick pigment. It has to be finely misted as it comes out. So those small pigment particles create that beautiful seamless finish. All right, I'm going to do the other side and then I will zoom in so that you guys can see the texture. Let's go ahead now and get into some fine tuning and touching up areas that I want to have a little bit more coverage. I'm going to go ahead and use the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. And I have to tell you guys, this texture, as well as the new Air Matte blushes, were my least favorite of Nars. I just did not understand the texture on these. And after sitting with a pro artist from the Nars team, I realized I was using it completely wrong. I was going in like I do with my other concealers and, putting it underneath and blending it, and it's just not one of those products. It's meant to be pressed into the skin and stippled, which I'll show you right now. And now I love it. It's like one of my favorite concealers. So let me show you what I mean. Take a brush and you're gonna dip it in here. Now Nars actually made a brush that goes with their concealer, specifically this soft matte concealer, and I will be getting it soon to show you guys how to use it with their products. But today all I have is this by SONIA G, and it is the soft shader brush. All right, you're gonna go in and lightly tap. And then you're going to use your finger to tap it on. This product likes to be warmed up first. Now, if you are looking for seamless coverage, which you're going to see right now, you're going to absolutely love this concealer. It is meant to cover. Do you see how it just like erased a lot of this discoloration? Now, I have a dark spot right here, so I'm just going to tap this on and cover it up so you guys can see just what I mean about how well it covers. Look at that. Oh, love this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead now and do the other eye so that you guys can see the full look. All right, so I have 2 powders that I go to consistently, and that's my Chantecaille powder, and this is in the HD Perfecting Loose Powder. It has a beautiful kind of candlelit shimmer to it, so it mattifies while not looking too dry. And my other favorite powder is the Gucci powder. This has the same kind of soft texture as the Chantecaille, and with a bit of a beautiful subtle shimmer to give a glow. I'm going to go ahead though today and use my Chantecaille because of the convenience. It has the brush already loaded in. I just shake it and then apply. Now I always start at the bottom because I don't want to have a lot of powder up through here where I have more texture and pores. So I get most of the powder on the bottom area, and then I slowly work up, and I work at an angle down as I'm placing the powder on so that I don't push any powder into a pore, emphasizing texture. So if you have a lot of texture, pores, old acne scars, a lot of fine lines, wrinkles, work within the direction and texture of that area. All right, here we have a Demi Matte complexion. So I'm going to use these two colors here as my base hue, and then I will lift it up and play with this green and this green for the eye look today. So I will show you guys what these colors look like. Now this is definitely more of like an indigo blue, but I'm going to mix it with this green here to create kind of my own little single base hue color. So there's that color. Here's the green. Now I'm going to mix those together. And those are the two together. So I made it like kind of an emerald green. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other colors I'll be using. I'll also be using this color here and this color. So these three are the colors I'll be using. These two created this color. So those are the three I'll be doing today. Let's start off with the Chantecaille Next Generation eyeshadow base in the color medium. This will help the shadow stay on really well, but it will also help to brighten the lid. I wear eyeshadow bases quite often just to make my eyes look brighter. Hopefully you guys can see how this eye is brighter than this eye. All right, let's voyage into color, my friends. So, SONIA G Crease Pro Brush. I'm gonna go in with this darker color here and mix it with this emerald green to create a rich jewel-toned green color. Now the style I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around the eye. So it's going to be a darker color. I kind of call it like basically a halo effect. So it's going to go dark, and then we're going to bring in the color medium, and then we're going to pop light on the upper center of the eyelid and the lower center of the lid. So let's start with the first color, which is the darkest color. Just going right on that brow ridge. And I'm depositing most of the color on the outside and softly bringing it in. So for those of you wondering how to create a softer look if your brush is loaded with pigment, you're going to really use the technique of how much pressure you apply to the brush. So here I really pack it on, and then I start to lightly just use the tip of the brush, pulling back on my pressure and lightly feathering it inward. So here my brush is pretty much almost flat to my lid. I'm really pressing it on, and then I lift it and just use the very, very tip of those bristles to create a soft medium to light transition. All right, from there, I'm going to just pack that into that corner, and I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. All right, we're going to switch brushes here. I have the SONIA G Flat Definer brush. I'm going to grab the same product here, which is this darker bluish green and this emerald green. And now I'm going to go on the outer edge. Gets to get a little too much, just take your finger and then I'm going to go on the inner edge. I'm bringing it on the inside here and on the outside and leaving this space blank right here. Now I'm going to bring a little bit of that color onto the inside area here as well. All right, going back to the SONIA G Crease Pro Brush. There's still a little product left on here, which I'm okay with. I'm just going to use the other side of the brush. And I'm going to grab this beautiful shimmery green color here. I'm going to pop that right in the center where we did not place any shadow. Now I'm going very lightly into that center. I'm using small strokes and just the tip of the brush to kind of feather that color on. All right, from there I'm going to go back with my SONIA G flat definer brush. And I am going to grab this beautiful olive green. I'm going to place that right in the center. That same color and go right in the same spot in the center on the lower lash line where we don't have any of that shadow. I'm going to go in with my SONIA G mini booster now. And this color here, as you can see, has a little bit of khaki gold green in there. So I'm going to grab a touch of this and a touch of this. I'm going to go right in the center here. Right on top of the last color I placed down. And then I'm going to do the same thing right in the center of the lower lash line. Whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to take right into the corner. I'm lightly just brushing a little bit into this V shape down here and right here. Not too far though, because I want to really keep dark, light, dark, light. I'm going to grab my Pat McGrath brush. I'm going to go in with that same color. And very, very lightly put that on the brow bone. Right, this is quite the look. I'm going to do the other eye and then I will bring it in. Let's stick with Natasha Denona here. I'm going to use the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. This is just like her other formulas, very wow. It's very pigmented. So less is more for those of you that like a more natural subtle finish, but I'm just going to go in a bit heavier than I normally do because, you know, I mean, look at this eye look. We got to bring it. I'm using the SONIA G Sculpt 4 brush. It's great for creating perfect precision when it comes to application. Just going to work that back and forth, and from there I feather downward. A little on the nose here, and then lip. A little on the chin, and on the ears here. All right, I'm going to use the blush color by Surratt in Cantaloupe. These are stunning blushes. I have my beauty blender. I'm just going to pop that on the cheek here. It's like a beautiful popsicle stain with a bit of dewiness. All right, let's add some lips. Since the eyes are the focus and I brought peach into the cheeks, I'm gonna stay neutral as I move down to the lip area. I'm grabbing the Byredo lipstick in the color Earth Dust, kind of a nice, warm, dusty rose color. I'm just going to pop this on my lips kind of like a stain. I'm not gonna put it on really thick. Quick little makeup tip here is, since I have so much texture on my eyes, if I go on really heavy with the lips, the texture is going to look, even though it's a light color, really heavy here and heavy here. And I'm trying to create balance, and not just balance in color, but balance in texture. So my application here isn't going to be like normal where I go round and round. I'm just tapping it on the skin. The lips are not the star of the show. They are the backup dancer here. They are there to complement the eyes. All right, from here, I'm gonna grab my Chantecaille gloss. It's a perfect little peach color, similar to the blush here. So we're bringing in some harmonious color, our monochromatic color in a different shade range. So I'm not just doing it on the eyes, the monochromatic look. I'm also doing it from lip to cheek. We didn't just do monochromatic colors of green on the lids. We also did it in the cheek and the lip area here. So for instance, here's the blush, here's the lip color, And here is the gloss. All in the same color family there. All right, everybody, I leave you here. I had so much fun doing this look today. The next videos will be on analogous and then complementary colors. If you like what you're seeing here on Shri Voyage, do not forget to go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to use the affiliate links down below. I'll have everything I used on my face today, and I have a list of other stores that you can shop for anything your heart desires, and I get a small commission when you do shop with my links. And please don't forget to put a comment down below. My favorite part is interacting with you guys. All right, everyone, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.